The afternoon sun streamed through the bay windows of Sophia's newly renovated home, casting a warm glow over the birthday decorations scattered throughout the living room. Colorful balloons bobbed gently against the ceiling, and a hand-painted banner reading, "Happy Third Birthday, Twins," stretched across the wall. The aroma of freshly baked chocolate cake wafted from the kitchen, mingling with the scent of the flower arrangements adorning every surface. Sophia Mitchell stood at 34 years old, poised, confident, and radiating a joy that seemed to have been hard-won. Her chestnut hair fell in soft waves past her shoulders, and her emerald eyes sparkled with anticipation as she adjusted the pile of carefully wrapped presents on the coffee table. The past 3 years had transformed her in ways she never thought possible. "Mommy, are people coming soon?" asked Emma, one of her twin daughters, tugging at the hem of Sophia's dress. With her mother's eyes and a mischievous smile that could melt the coldest heart, Emma was the more outgoing of the twins. "Yes, sweetheart. Your friends will be here any minute," Sophia replied, bending down to smooth Emma's unruly curls. "Will there be enough cake?" Oliver, Emma's twin brother, appeared from behind the couch, his serious expression a stark contrast to his sister's excitement. Where Emma was all energy and impulse, Oliver was thoughtful and observant, with his father's dark hair and Sophia's gentle nature. "More than enough, I promise," Sophia laughed, drawing both children into a tight embrace. "You two are going to have the best birthday party ever." What the children didn't know, what they couldn't possibly understand, was that this day marked another anniversary for Sophia. Exactly 3 years ago, her divorce from Marcus had been finalized, just 2 weeks before she discovered she was pregnant with twins. The irony wasn't lost on her. Her marriage had ended, but a new chapter of her life was just beginning. As Sophia made final adjustments to the party decorations, the doorbell rang. Her best friend Lisa entered, carrying 2 enormous gift bags. "The party planner has arrived," Lisa announced dramatically, setting down the bags and pulling Sophia into a fierce hug. "How are you holding up? Any word from you-know-who?" Sophia shook her head. "Nothing. And honestly, I'm fine with that. The twins and I have created our own perfect little world." Lisa's expression shifted slightly, a flicker of something concern, perhaps, or hesitation crossing her features. "Well, about that. I heard through the grapevine that Marcus and Veronica are back in town. Apparently, they have some news they've been sharing with anyone who'll listen." Sophia felt a familiar tightness in her chest, the one that used to appear whenever Marcus's name was mentioned. But today, it was just a distant echo. "Their lives stopped being my business a long time ago, Lisa." The doorbell chimed again, and the room soon filled with excited children and chatting parents. Sophia moved gracefully among her guests, the consummate hostess, her past troubles seemingly forgotten. But as the party reached full swing, she couldn't help but wonder if the universe had more surprises in store for her on this already significant day. 3 years earlier, Sophia's world had imploded on an ordinary Tuesday evening. She had returned home early from a business trip, eager to surprise Marcus with the news of her promotion. Instead, she found him and her colleague Veronica entangled on the couch they had chosen together during their first year of marriage. "How long?" Sophia had asked, her voice eerily calm as she stood in the doorway, suitcase still in hand. Marcus had at least had the decency to look ashamed as he fumbled for his shirt. "Soph, this isn't 6 months, Veronica had answered, her chin raised defiantly, not bothering to cover herself. "And if you're honest with yourself, you'd admit your marriage was over long before I came into the picture." The weeks that followed had been a blur of lawyer meetings, tearful conversations with friends and family, and sleepless nights staring at the ceiling of her childhood bedroom in her parents' house. Marcus had claimed he never meant to hurt her, that it just happened, but the evidence Sophia later discovered told a different story. Text messages going back nearly a year. Hotel receipts. Weekend trips disguised as business travel. "I gave him everything," Sophia had sobbed to Lisa over a bottle of wine, a month after moving out. 10 years. My 20s. We were trying for a baby, for God's sake. Lisa had taken her hand firmly. And now you get to reclaim your life. On your terms. The divorce had been finalized quickly, thanks to an ironclad prenuptial agreement that Marcus's wealthy family had insisted upon, a document that now worked in Sophia's favor. She received a generous settlement, bought a small but charming house across town, and threw herself into establishing her new independent life, and then came the discovery that changed everything. Pregnant? Sophia had echoed the doctor's words, her hand instinctively moving to her still flat stomach. But that's impossible. Well, not impossible, but, we were trying for so long with no success. Sometimes stress can affect fertility, the doctor had explained gently. And according to these tests, you're about 8 weeks along. 8 weeks. Sophia had done the math. The baby, Marcus's baby, had been conceived just before she discovered the affair. A parting gift from a marriage that had crumbled to dust when the first ultrasound had revealed not one but 2 tiny heartbeats. Sophia had laughed through her tears. Twins? Are you serious? Congratulations, the ultrasound technician had smiled. Double the blessing. Sophia had debated telling Marcus about the pregnancy. Legally, she knew he had rights. Morally, she believed he should know. But something had held her back. Perhaps it was self-preservation, or maybe it was the memory of his final words to her when he picked up the last of his belongings from their shared home. I never wanted children with you anyway, he had spat, wounded by her discovery of yet another lie in his web of deception. Veronica and I want the same things in life. We're building something real. So Sophia had made the difficult decision to walk this path alone, at least for the time being. Her parents had been supportive, if concerned. Her friends had rallied around her. And when Emma and Oliver had arrived, tiny, perfect, and completely dependent on her, Sophia had discovered a strength within herself she never knew existed. The first year had been the hardest, sleepless nights, endless feedings, and the bone-deep exhaustion that only new parents truly understand. But there had also been indescribable joy, first smiles, tiny fingers curling around her own, the unique and perfect scent of her baby's heads. As the twins grew from infants to toddlers, Sophia had slowly rebuilt her life. She worked from home as a graphic designer, created a warm and loving environment for her children, and gradually opened herself to the possibility of new relationships. Though none had progressed beyond casual dating, there were moments, of course, when she wondered if she had made the right choice in not telling Marcus about the twins. Times when Oliver would make a gesture so reminiscent of his father that Sophia's breath would catch. Or when Emma would ask innocent questions about why her friends had daddies and she didn't. Some families have a mommy and a daddy, Sophia would explain. Some have 2 mommies or 2 daddies. Some, like ours, have just a mommy. All that matters is that we love each other very much. Lisa had been more direct during their coffee dates. He's going to find out eventually, sophomore. This town isn't that big. I know, Sophia would acknowledge. And when that happens, I'll deal with it. But for now, we're happy. We're whole. As the twins' 3rd birthday approached, Sophia had felt increasingly secure in her decision. Marcus and Veronica had moved to the city shortly after the divorce, their social media accounts documenting their glamorous, child-free lifestyle. They seemed to have no interest in Sophia's quiet existence, and she was perfectly content with that arrangement, until now. The birthday party was in full swing when the doorbell rang again. Sophia, busy lighting candles on the twin birthday cakes, chocolate for Oliver, strawberry for Emma, called out, "Lisa, can you get that? It's probably the magician." She placed the final candle and stepped back to admire her work. The cakes were perfect, not professional looking, perhaps, but made with love, with "Happy Birthday Emma" and "Happy Birthday Oliver" written in somewhat wobbly icing letters. From the foyer, she heard Lisa's voice, uncharacteristically sharp. "What are you doing here?" A deep, familiar voice responded, sending a jolt of recognition through Sophia's body. "We're in town visiting family. Heard there was a party. Thought we'd stop by and say hello." Marcus, Sophia froze, the lighter still in her hand. 3 years had passed, but she would know that voice anywhere, the voice that had once whispered promises in her ear, the voice that had later shattered her world with lies. This really isn't a good time, Lisa was saying, her tone making it clear she was trying to block their entry. Come on, it's been years. Bygones and all that, came another voice, female, slightly nasal. Veronica, Sophia took a deep breath, set down the lighter, and straightened her shoulders. Time seemed to slow as she moved from the kitchen into the hallway. There they stood, Marcus, still handsome in that effortless way that had first attracted her, and Veronica, whose slight frame now sported an unmistakable baby bump beneath her designer dress. Sophia, Marcus said, his confident smile faltering slightly as his eyes met hers. You look well. Marcus. Veronica. Sophia was surprised at how steady her voice sounded. This is unexpected. An awkward silence stretched between them, broken only by the sounds of children playing in the background. Veronica's hand moved instinctively to her swollen abdomen. We're having a boy, she announced without preamble, a triumphant gleam in her eye. Due in 3 months. We thought, well, we're telling everyone our good news. The implication was clear, they had come to show off their pregnancy, perhaps even to gloat. Sophia felt a flash of anger, quickly replaced by something that surprised her, pity. Congratulations, she said simply. I'm happy for you both. Marcus's eyes darted around the decorated living room. Birthday party. Before Sophia could respond, a small tornado in the form of Emma came barreling into the hallway, closely followed by her more cautious brother. Mommy. When's cake time? Emma demanded, skidding to a stop when she noticed the strangers. Oliver hung back, regarding the newcomers with solemn curiosity. The color drained from Marcus's face as his gaze moved from one child to the other, taking in Emma's familiar green eyes, Oliver's dark hair so like his own. Doing the math. Sophia, he said hoarsely. What? Who? These are my children, Sophia said, drawing the twins closer to her. Emma and Oliver. Today is their 3rd birthday. Veronica's eyes widened with understanding, her hand tightening on Marcus's arm. 3 years, but that means, yes, Sophia confirmed quietly. They're yours, Marcus. Biologically speaking, at least. Emma, oblivious to the tension, tugged at Sophia's dress. Are they coming to our party too? Sophia bent down to her daughter's level. No, sweetheart. These are old friends of Mommy's who just stopped by to say hello. Why don't you and Oliver go tell Lisa we'll be having cake very soon? The twins ran off, Emma chattering excitedly while Oliver glanced back over his shoulder with those old soul eyes. When they were out of earshot, Marcus took a step forward, his expression a complex mixture of shock, anger, and something that might have been regret. Why didn't you tell me? I tried, Sophia replied evenly. I called you multiple times after I found out. You never returned my calls. And then I heard you tell half the town that you were glad we never had children together. That was. Marcus ran a hand through his hair. I was angry. Hurt. I didn't mean it. It doesn't matter now, Sophia said. You made your choice 3 years ago. I've made mine every day since then. Veronica, her earlier smugness evaporated, tugged at Marcus's sleeve. We should go. But Marcus seemed rooted to the spot, his eyes fixed on the direction the twins had disappeared. They're beautiful. Yes, Sophia agreed. They are. Do they know about me? They know their father lives far away. They're 3, Marcus. They haven't asked for details yet. A pained expression crossed his face. And when they do? Sophia regarded him thoughtfully. I'll tell them the truth in an age-appropriate way. I won't poison them against you, if that's what you're worried about. From the living room came the sound of children's laughter and Lisa's voice calling, Sophia. The natives are getting restless for cake. I have to go, Sophia said. My children are waiting. As she turned to leave, Marcus's voice stopped her. Would it be possible for me to know them? The question hung in the air between them, weighted with years of hurt and the complicated future stretching before them. Sophia studied the man she had once loved with all her heart, the man who had betrayed that love so completely. Beside him stood the woman who had participated in that betrayal, now carrying his child, a half-sibling to Emma and Oliver. That depends, Sophia said finally. On whether you're prepared to be a father, not just a visitor. These children deserve consistency and commitment. If you can provide that, we can talk. After the party. I'd like that, Marcus said softly. Veronica looked as though she wanted to object but remained silent, one hand still protectively cradling her belly. You have my number, Sophia told him. Use it this time. With that, she turned and walked back toward the birthday celebration, toward the life she had built from the ashes of heartbreak, a life that was messier and more complicated than she had planned, but also richer and more fulfilled than she had ever imagined possible. The twins' birthday party continued as planned, though Sophia moved through it with a sense of disconnection, her mind still processing the unexpected encounter. Lisa stayed close by her side, a silent pillar of support, fielding questions and directing activities when Sophia's attention wandered. Mommy, who were those people? Oliver asked later as Sophia helped him into his pajamas, the party long over and the house quiet once more. Sophia hesitated, searching for the right words. They're people I used to know a long time ago. The man looked like me, Oliver observed with his characteristic perception. Yes, Sophia admitted, her heart constricting. He did. Emma, already tucked into her bed in their shared room, sat up suddenly. Was that our daddy? The directness of the question took Sophia's breath away. She had always promised herself she would be honest with her children, but she hadn't expected to navigate these waters quite so soon. Yes, Emma, she said finally. That was your daddy. Why doesn't he live with us? Emma's voice held simple curiosity without judgment. Sophia sat down on the edge of the bed, drawing both children close. Sometimes mommies and daddies love each other very much, but they discover they can't live together happily. So they live in different houses. That doesn't mean they love their children any less. Does he love us? Oliver asked, his dark eyes serious. He's just getting to know you, Sophia answered carefully. But I'm sure when he does, he'll love you very much. This seemed to satisfy the twins, who were soon drifting off to sleep, their minds already moving to the next day's adventures. For Sophia, sleep proved more elusive. The following morning, her phone rang. Marcus's name flashed on the screen. Can we meet? He asked without preamble. To talk. About the twins. They arranged to meet at a neutral location, a quiet cafe in the park where they had once spent Sunday mornings reading the newspaper and planning their future together. The irony wasn't lost on Sophia as she settled at an outdoor table, watching Marcus approach alone. No Veronica? She asked as he sat down across from her. She thought it would be better if we talked privately, Marcus replied, though something in his expression suggested the decision hadn't been entirely amicable. Sophia, I don't even know where to begin. The beginning might be a good place, Sophia suggested, wrapping her hands around her coffee cup. Why are you really here, Marcus? 3 years of silence, and suddenly you want to be involved? Marcus looked away, his profile sharp against the backdrop of flowering trees. When Veronica got pregnant, something changed for me. I started thinking about what kind of father I wanted to be, the kind of man I needed to become. And then to find out I already am a father to twins, no less. Convenient timing, Sophia observed, unable to keep the edge from her voice. I deserve that, Marcus acknowledged. I deserve worse, probably. But I'm not here to disrupt your lives or make demands. I just want a chance. To know them. To be someone in their lives. Sophia studied him, searching for signs of the charming manipulation that had once blinded her to his true nature. Instead, she saw something unfamiliar: humility, perhaps. Regret. And Veronica? She asked. How does she feel about you suddenly acquiring a ready-made family? Marcus winced. It's complicated. She's adjusting to the idea. Meaning she hates it, Sophia translated. She's pregnant, hormonal, scared, Marcus defended weakly. This isn't what she signed up for either. No, what she signed up for was an affair with a married man, Sophia pointed out. Actions have consequences, Marcus. For all of us. They sat in silence for a moment, the weight of their shared history and uncertain future hanging between them. The twins asked about you last night, Sophia said finally. They wanted to know if you were their daddy. Marcus's head snapped up. What did you tell them? The truth. That you are. That sometimes parents live separately. That you're just getting to know them. Thank you, he said quietly. For not I don't know, making me the villain. Despite what you might think, I never wanted to turn them against you, Sophia replied. Children need to form their own opinions about their parents. My job is to protect them from harm, not from relationships that might be meaningful. I don't deserve your generosity. This isn't about what you deserve. It's about what's best for Emma and Oliver. Marcus nodded slowly. So where do we go from here? Sophia took a deep breath. If you want to be in their lives, really be in their lives, not just when it's convenient or when you're feeling sentimental, then we need to establish some ground rules. Anything, Marcus agreed quickly. Don't make promises you can't keep, Sophia warned. Consistency is crucial. These aren't accessories or weekend hobbies. They're people, small, impressionable people who will form attachments and experience real hurt if you disappear. I understand, Marcus said soberly. I'm not the same man who left 3 years ago, Sophia. Becoming a father again, it's made me realize how much I've missed, how much I've thrown away. It's not just about you and me anymore, Sophia reminded him. There's Veronica, your unborn son. The twins. We're all connected now, whether we like it or not. Veronica and I, things haven't been great lately, Marcus admitted, looking down at his hands. Finding out about the twins has brought up a lot of issues we've been avoiding. She's afraid I'll leave her, like I left you. Will you? Sophia asked, genuinely curious. No, Marcus said firmly. I made a commitment to her, to our child. I'm trying to be a better man than I was before. Sophia felt an unexpected surge of respect for this version of Marcus, a man accepting responsibility rather than running from it. Then you need to include her in this conversation. The twins don't need to be exposed to tension or resentment between the adults in their lives. Marcus agreed, and they spent the next hour outlining a tentative plan, supervised visits at first, gradually building to more regular involvement as the twins became comfortable. Legal considerations to be addressed. Boundaries to be respected. As they parted, Marcus hesitated. I know I have no right to ask, but are you seeing anyone? The question caught Sophia off guard. That's not relevant to our co-parenting arrangement. I know, I just wondered if the twins had a father figure in their lives. They have me, Sophia said simply. And now, perhaps, they'll have you too. That's more than enough for now. As she watched him walk away, Sophia felt a strange mixture of emotions: anxiety about the changes ahead, lingering anger at past betrayals, but also a cautious hope that perhaps this complexity might ultimately enrich her children's lives rather than complicate them. What she didn't feel, surprisingly, was the pain she had expected at seeing Marcus again. The man who had once been the center of her universe now occupied a different space, important because of his connection to her children, but no longer holding power over her heart. That evening, as Sophia tucked the twins into bed, Emma asked, "Is Daddy coming to see us? Would you like that?" Sophia asked carefully. Emma nodded enthusiastically while Oliver considered the question with his usual thoughtfulness before offering a small nod of his own. Then yes, Sophia told them. He'd like to get to know you better. And he has some news: you're going to have a little brother soon. A brother? Oliver perked up. Like Emma is my sister. Sort of, Sophia explained. He'll be your half-brother. You'll have the same daddy but different mommies. That's weird, Emma declared, wrinkling her nose. It's just a different kind of family, Sophia corrected gently. And families come in all shapes and sizes. Later, alone in her room, Sophia reflected on the day's developments. 3 years ago, discovering Marcus's betrayal had felt like the end of her world. The thought of him building a new life with Veronica, having a child with her, would have devastated Sophia then. Now, she found herself in a place she never expected, secure enough in her own life and identity to contemplate sharing her children with the man who had broken her heart, even welcoming his new family into their extended circle. Life had come full circle indeed, but not in the way anyone could have predicted. 6 months later, Sophia stood in her backyard, watching as Marcus pushed Emma on the swing set while Oliver examined a beetle on the ground nearby. Veronica sat in a patio chair, their newborn son Lucas cradled in her arms, her expression softening as she watched the scene before her. The path to this moment had not been easy. There had been tense conversations, moments of doubt, and painful adjustments on all sides. Veronica had initially resisted the arrangement, fearful that Marcus's attention would be diverted from her and their child. The twins had experienced confusion and occasional emotional outbursts as they tried to understand the complicated adult relationships around them, but slowly, carefully, a new normal had emerged, one that prioritized the children's well-being above old grievances and wounded pride. He looks like them, Veronica said quietly as Sophia brought her a glass of lemonade. Lucas has the same chin as Oliver. I noticed that, Sophia agreed, sitting beside her. They're siblings, after all. Veronica met her gaze. I never apologized to you. For everything. No, you didn't, Sophia acknowledged. Would it make a difference if I did now? Sophia considered the question seriously. Maybe not to the past. But perhaps to the future we're building for these children. Veronica nodded slowly. Then I am sorry, Sophia. Truly. I was selfish and thoughtless, and I never considered the pain I was causing. Thank you, Sophia said simply. That means something. They watched in companionable silence as Marcus helped Oliver up onto the swing beside his sister, the children's laughter floating across the yard. Did you ever imagine we'd end up here? Veronica asked. Never in a million years, Sophia admitted with a small laugh. But life has a way of surprising us. You're stronger than I gave you credit for, Veronica observed. Then either of us did. Sophia smiled. Necessity has a way of bringing out strengths we didn't know we had. The conversation was interrupted by Emma calling, Mommy. Watch how high I can go. As Sophia moved to join her children, she reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. The betrayal that had once defined her life now seemed like just one chapter in a much larger story, a painful but necessary turning point that had led her to unexpected joy. She had not only survived, she had thrived, creating a life filled with love, purpose, and now, an extended family that defied conventional definitions.